They're two happy women bringing you inspiring stories, politics, pop culture, and lifestyle hacks, all with an eye to making our communities and our country a better place to live. It's the Happy Women Podcast with your hosts, Jen Horn and Katie Gorka.
Democrat bullies and Trump is going after, finally, the Department of Education. Another win for the Trump administration. On this episode of the Happy Women Podcast, I'm Jennifer Horn.
I'm Katie Gorka.
All right, so let's start with the big news today. Just as we are recording, actually, today, President Trump is sticking to his word. This is not a surprise. It's what he campaigned on, that he is going to be not ending, because that would take an act of Congress, but definitely stripping down the Department of Education. I heard today, Katie, the LA Unified School District Superintendent, Alberto Carvalho, is going, this is going to be the end of education. Funny to me that he is more upset about the Department of Education ending rather than the fact that Los Angeles and California schools are like 48 out of 50 in the country. This should actually make local school districts excited because they're going to have more control over what they teach, more funding, because we're stripping out the bureaucracy. What do you think about this? You've got a lot of friends watching this signing today.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. I'm seeing one friend after another who's posting their invitation to attend the ceremony at 4:00 today at the White House. It is so exciting. This has been a long fight. It really, it's had many elements to it. And in a lot of ways, you can say the homeschooling movement was really the beginning of the fight against what was wrong with public education. But it stepped up monumentally in 2020 with COVID and the shutdowns. And on the flip side of that, it was also, especially with, I would say, the 1619 project, we really saw this attack on what makes America great and what is great America, and attacks on America in general. And I think with COVID, so many parents got to hear what their kids were being taught, and they were appalled. So, there have been so many people involved in the fight, but I agree with you. I am so surprised by all the Democrats protesting this cutback when they should be thrilled, because this means state level and local level departments of education are going to have much greater control. They're going to have more money. And what people fail to realize is that this was also the idea of the founders. Education is a state's issue. It's not a federal issue. And when you try to do things on this scale from the federal government, you do. It's efficient, it's ineffective, and you burn through a ton of cash, which would have been much better spent in other ways. So I say, thank you, President Trump. It is another day of winning in America.
It sure is. And, this is something that's not new. This was something that Ronald Reagan started back in the 1980s. This was something that he called for. This is what Republicans have stood for. And it's amazing to me to watch Democrats again find themselves on the wrong side of another issue. I mean, they've been now supporting illegal alien rapists. They've been supporting open borders. They have been supporting blowing up Tesla dealerships. We're going to talk about that in a second. I mean, they're supporting terrorism when they support Hamas. I mean, it's unbelievable. This is something that we should be celebrating as a country, but yet you've got Randy Weingarten with the teachers union coming out. And I really think all they're doing, Katie, the only people you hear complaining about this, it's not the parents, it's the Democrats in elected office who have nothing else to do but try to fearmonger. So they're trying to get people to be so upset about this, but I don't think the American people care. I think the American people want more control, not less control of their kids' education. And it's once again just a clear demonstration of Democrats grasping at air or straws, whatever it is, to try to come up with some terrible narrative against President Trump when they can't make an argument for keeping the Department of Education. There isn't one. They're just fear-mongering against it.
And I think the other thing is, I think the majority of Americans care very deeply about the financial morass of our federal government. And they recognize that the spending has got to be cut back. And if a program is not effective, as the Department of Education isn't, then it's time to cut it. In fact, it's great. My former colleague from the Heritage Foundation, Lindsay Burke, I saw her do an interview the other day, and she said, from the time when the Department of Education was started in the 1960s until today, nothing has improved. They're not by one metric has there
It's
been
actually
an
gotten
improvement,
worse.
and yet trillions have been spent. Clearly not a good investment in our future.
Well, this is what Democrats love to do. If there's a problem, they just like to throw money at it, not really solve it. I see it all the time in California. We spend so much to try to solve homelessness, and what happens? People are more homeless than
And
ever
spending
and more
government money.
addicted.
I think it's
That's
government
right.
money that has to be spent, which is our money. That is our money being
Yep.
spent by government bureaucrats.
And misused. All right. So we also promised you some Democrat bullies. And I have to tell you. So this whole nonsense about Elon Musk and about the fact that he's now enemy number one. Forget Donald Trump. He's no longer enemy number one. Elon Musk is now enemy number one for these Democrats. You've had people like Jasmine Crockett call for a very special birthday present for herself. I mean, this is unbelievable. Take a look.
So I'll make sure that I keep it short, but I am truly here for very selfish reasons. Starting with on March 29th, it's my birthday. And all I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down. Yes. Listen, I have learned as I serve on the Doge Oversight Committee that there is only one language that the people that are in charge understand right now. And that language is money. And so I've been so proud to see us organize behind a cause.
Because money doesn't matter. Like, what is the point of what she just said? That's crazy.
And of course, it's about money about cutting things, actually, making things more efficient. Here's the problem. For a long time, for the last, 4 years, whatever it's been, since 5 years now, since the so-called insurrection, Republicans have been called the insurrectionists. Republicans have been called the violent party. Republicans have been identified as the FBI, as the number one threat to life in America. And yet you have a group of people who are just out there, including Maxine Waters and Jasmine Crockett, and you name it. I mean, there are a lot of Democrats who are out there calling for Elon Musk to be taken down. And you know what? People are hearing that. They're firebombing Tesla dealerships. They're blowing up cars. The guy in Vegas just shot up. I think this was a transgender person, actually, who went in and shot up this Tesla repair bay. This kind of stuff is ridiculous, but I will say selfishly, I think that the electric vehicle mandate in California, which was coming in 2035, is now officially off, Katie. I think, I don't know. I don't think they're going to want to keep that in place because now Elon is so bad. So maybe that's another win for President Trump and Elon Musk. But it's really sad. And I feel bad that Elon Musk seems absolutely surprised that this kind of vitriol exists. And he always said, I thought the left was the party of kindness and empathy. No, this is the party of when you don't have anything to do that's constructive, you threaten violence. And that's what they're doing with this Tesla takedown.
I just want to say, I think the time for us to be putting up with the Democrat bullying is over. And I'm so frustrated by this on a very local level because here in Fairfax County, we've been taking part in an effort to try to get Republican clubs started in the high schools because every high school has a Democrat club, but there are virtually no Republican clubs. And everybody that we talk to about why is that the case is because people say they will be ostracized, they will be targeted if they get associated with the Republicans. The only way you stop that is to stand up to it. It's not to cower. It's not to hide. And I say, God bless Elon Musk for not bowing down, not cowering before the attacks. I was appalled to find out that he's having death threats against him. It's not just the attacks on his company. And somebody was commenting this morning, they called into Chris Plant's show. He's a great conservative commentator. Actually, I think he's national now, but he's locally based. And somebody called up to make the point, when the conservatives were expressing our frustration with like Budweiser or Target, there was no firebombing. There were no attacks. We simply said, stop buying the product. So if the left wants to say, okay, you don't have to buy a Tesla, let them do it. But these attacks, these personal attacks, these, threats of danger, these acts of danger, too much. And I'm
And for
really
what?
grateful. I know. And I'm super grateful because I don't know if this is legit, but I'm going to hope that it was. I saw a post where Dan Bongino, newly installed at the FBI, said, we are looking into these as acts of domestic terrorism.
Pam Bondi has said the same thing, the attorney general. So they are looking at this, and it is domestic terrorism. They're trying to stop something. They're making political statements. I just have to make a comment about Elon Musk because I don't I don't know where I stood with Elon Musk at the beginning of all of this. I think so many of us just knew him as this big businessman, kind of, strange guy, like going around out there. But when he took over Twitter, I do believe that was the first step. That was the first domino in President Trump's win in 2024. I think that he started the awakening process of people realizing how much the censorship was real. And I think that was a huge step in the right direction for any fair minded American. I also think right after the assassination attempt on President Trump, Elon Musk came out with an endorsement, started working closely with President Trump, started getting him, along with Barron Trump, in the right space with these podcasts. I really give Elon a lot of credit for President Trump's win. Obviously, it was President Trump's to have, but I think that there's a lot of credit that goes to Elon Musk. He takes over Doge, does great work. I mean, this is stuff that we should be applauding, not throwing stones at the guy. But it wasn't until this week when I was like, you know what? Sign me up. I'm fully in the Elon Musk camp. And that was watching the SpaceX capsule
Yes.
splash down. I mean, the reason I love the space program so much, and I was so devastated when it was killed by Bush and Obama, kind of as a tag team, is that it really brings pride and it's so pro-American. But I'm actually glad they killed it because it gave opportunities for people like Elon Musk and SpaceX to do some really incredible things. And you look at what he does and you look at how perfectly polished that was and how everything just went as planned. And then I watched Elon on Sean Hannity's show. And everybody knows he's a little awkward, but he's brilliant. And I looked at him and I actually got goosebumps thinking this is a modern day explorer. This is someone who we can look at who's talking about interplanetary travel and wanting to colonize Mars. I mean, that's incredibly cool, and not just cool to talk about. He's got plans for this. This is somebody who I think just wants to make a mark on mankind. And I think that's what he's doing. I mean, I got this feeling that he's filled with good. And I don't think that he's in there for those reasons. And it really kind of all hit me. It culminated this week watching him just so in his own weird little Elon way, being kind of innocent and almost childlike about his excitement and how he wants to help. And I buy it. I'm buying it. And I wish these bullies would leave him alone. I really do. He doesn't deserve it. He hasn't done anything to deserve their fire other than calling out the fact that they've been laundering money on the American people for decades.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what you've said. And you're so right in everything you've said. And I'll say one more thing to Elon's credit is that by buying X and turning it around and getting rid of the censorship of conservatives, he showed us that we don't have to take their bullying, we are not powerless. And I think that's also been very, very important. And that's, of course, one of President Trump's greatest attributes as well. He showed us we can stand up to the bullying and we can fight back and we can win. And I credit Elon Musk with that as well. So I just think we are so blessed to have them in our country and fighting for us right now.
It's just it's so childlike that the Democrats are trying to split up Elon and President Trump by, trying to pit them against each other. I'm just glad that relationship has stayed solid. And I hope Elon is willing to continue to help the country because we can use him. We can definitely use him. All right. Hey, guys, I want to remind you real quick. I was just reminded actually by our friends here at the old podcast ranch that I should be telling you about our Patriots Alaska cruise. It's coming up on August 16th. It's through the 23rd. Last year, Katie and I were there together. How cool was that cruise, Katie? Wasn't it amazing?
I so loved it.
So this year, I'm going to miss Katie, but I'll be there alongside Mike Gallagher, the sage himself, Larry Elder, and Jersey Joe Piscopo. You know Joe. He is from Saturday Night Live. He's so incredibly talented. He can sing. He is funny. We're not only going to stimulate you with interesting conversations about what's been going on and give you opportunities for meet and greets and book signings, but there's also going to be an entertainment aspect to this cruise. And we want you to go with us. Alaska is fabulous. It is a bucket list trip. We're going to Juneau and Ketchikan, Glacier Bay, my favorite, scenic cruising through Stevens Passage. Absolutely beautiful. So come with us, join the fun. You will not regret it. You're going to make lifelong friends. We all did last time around. You will do it again. In and out of Seattle. August 16th through the 23rd on Holland America. It's a beautiful 5-star luxury cruise line. Travelwithsalem.com is the website. That's travelwithsalem.com. All right, guys, if you've been listening to our podcast, you have been hearing Katie and I talking, literally raving about a product that is called Revive. It's absolutely fantastic. It's a collagen powder, but so much more than that. And joining us today is the founder of Brightcore, and they do incredible work. Brightcore Nutrition is fabulous. MyBrightcore.com is the website, and giving you the number right now, but we're going to tell you in just a few minutes how to get a hold of some of these products that they have. 888-927-5980. Kim Bright is here. She is the founder of Brightcore Nutrition. And I already told you, Kim, here's your compliment. You are absolutely gorgeous. That skin of yours looks amazing. So your products must really, really work. I know I love them, but they are working.
Thank you.
So, Kim, we were talking a little bit before we started. I think it's important to share a little bit about your backstory, because you just said to us, I never thought I would have this nutrition company. I never thought that I would be helping people with supplements. This was a path that you came to probably providentially, it sounds like.
Yes, indeed. I started out modeling and acting, and that's what I thought I was. Ultimately, I wanted to become a producer and a director. But God had different plans for me. And basically, I ended up partying out there. I never was like that when I was growing up. And then all of a sudden, I went wild child out there in LA, and I had alcohol poisoning, and I had a near-death experience. And when I came back, God put my feet on a different path. And I didn't know anything about nutrition. And I walked into my first health food store in Torrance, California, and started buying books and reading books. And I just was like a sponge. I was reading books all the way back to the 20s and, and forward. I was just starving for understanding on nutrition and starving on why I got in the condition I did at age 20. So I started really looking into, and we're talking about almost 50 years ago now, I looked into, I grew up on, regular, typical American diet, lots of milk, lots of meat, lots of sugar, and some vegetables and fruits. But I started researching and finding out, wow, how chickens are grown. That's really weird. They put them in these little cubicles. They don't get down on the ground and walk around like a normal chicken. And they're fed by conveyor belt. This is back in 1974. And so I looked into how they were raising meat and chicken and our food supply. And anyway, long story short, I studied with a lot of esoteric teachers. I counseled over 15,000 people, from very sick people, cancer, heart disease, diabetics, all the way up to Olympic athletes and professional athletes. And what was interesting is just seeing the changes in people and changing their diets. And I taught at the Cushing Institute in Boston, Massachusetts. I helped set up a program for Shattuck Hospital where we got government rations. We walked in every day, didn't know what you're going to have there. And we ended up cooking for the patients first, the psychiatric patients, and they started getting better. And then the doctors and nurses wanted to eat our food. And it was very simple food. And they then canceled the program because the psychiatric patients were getting off their meds. Think about that. So anyway, long story short, have done a lot of things, had my own restaurant, the first non-smoking restaurant in Westport, Connecticut, called A Change of Seasons. And I taught people how to eat in season, change the menu 5 times a year. I'm a chef, and I didn't serve, I served free-range chicken. I had a guy raising organic chicken for me and eggs. I'd had a guy go out and fish every day, bring me fresh fish. Didn't serve alcohol, and taught people how to eat in season and how to eat real food so they could start to change their bodies and get healthy and not go the Western route, the Western medicine route, where you get sick and then you go to the doctor and he brings out his script, writes a script for you. And then few weeks later, now that symptom has changed because He's addressing the symptom, not the root cause of the problem. And I was always addressing the root cause of the problem, trying to find it and change whatever was in their environment, what was in their diet, all these things, and had tremendous results.
So I think we're about the same age. I may be just a little bit younger than you, but I grew up on the same diet. And I remember how monumental it was. I think when I was in college in the late 70s, and I somehow came across a copy of the cookbook Laurel's Kitchen. I don't know if you ever, yeah.
I have that cookbook.
I love that cookbook. So, she was the one that really, I feel like, kind of popularized the movement of like making your own bread and, using raw ingredients. But it's shocking to me that it's taken this long, but it seems like we are really finally at a turning point in our country where we're understanding better how unhealthy we've become and what we have to do. And I'm so grateful for some of the people like Casey Means and Peter Attia and Huberman Labs, educating us and teaching us that there is a different way to eat and a different way to live. So one of the things that I have learned about is the importance of collagen. And of course, this is something that you really support, especially for women's health. So Jen and I actually both have the collagen in our coffee every morning. So do you mind talking just specifically about that? Because I think this is so important for women's health.
Well, as women age, things start to fall apart. Men too. This is not just about women, but men also. Ladies, you can give this to your husband because as we age, supposedly naturally aging, our bones start to fall apart, osteopenia, osteoporosis, bone density goes down. We get creaky in our joints. Our skin starts to get wrinkly and saggy. Our hair starts to fall out. It becomes brittle. It thins. It loses its sheen. Our nails become very spongy and they're not strong anymore. They break easily. Everything in our body starts to fall apart. And why is that? It isn't natural. It doesn't have to be that way because our ancestors used to eat every single day when they were eating the whole thing of the whatever they killed, the organ meats and everything in it. These all contained collagen. And so collagen is so vitally important for our health, our overall health, because we naturally have it produced in our body up until age about 25. At 25 or maybe even younger, like if you drink a lot of alcohol, you eat a lot of sugar, you've just been, the sun goddess out there just, baking in the sun, and smoking is the worst. Those drain collagen out of the body. Those tamp down collagen production. So depending on what your lifestyle's been, and if you've eaten a lot of ultra-processed foods, same thing goes. So our collagen production starts to slow down around those ages. Then as we approach menopause, collagen is very tied in with our hormones. So as we are going towards that, our collagen production falls off a cliff. So now we really see huge changes in our skin. We see the sallowness come in. We see the sagging accelerate. We see the wrinkles and the fine lines. All these things are accelerating. So what is the answer? The answer is let's put back in what's leaving. And you do that by taking collagen supplements because we don't get collagen. Even if you're drinking bone broth every day, you're not getting the amount of collagen and you're not getting all the types of collagen that go from head to toe. And another thing I want to talk about too, the importance of collagen is collagen comes from the Greek word kala. And collagen means kala means to glue together or hold together. And so what happens is our body, when it's losing collagen, it's kind of like a radial tire. You've ever seen radial tires going down the road and all of a sudden their things start to fly off and come apart? That's what happens in our body. Our organs, collagen's everywhere, in every single connective tissue throughout our body. It's in our hair, it's in our skin, it's in our nails, it's in our whole digestive tract. For instance, people that maybe have sleep apnea, they could be lacking collagen greatly because that soft palate starts to fall, starts to sag. Then you can't get enough air in at night. I don't hear anybody talking about that out there.
No.
But that could be a problem. Same thing with bladder incontinence. All the organs start to pull apart and fall. And there is a certain type of connective tissue in our body called fascia. Fascia is what holds the organs up and in place. So all this has to do with collagen. Collagen's even in our eyes, and our eyes start to change, and our eyesight starts to change. I don't wear glasses. I'm 70 years old. So the only time I put a pair of glasses on is when I have to read the fine print on little tiny bottles of something. So
Amazing.
this is working for me, girls. And,
It is.
hopefully
We could
it
tell.
will change with you guys too.
Well,
But that's a little bit more about why we need collagen and how important it really, truly is.
And let's talk about your product, because look, there are other collagen products on the market. People have been talking about this. You've just outlined why it's so important, especially in the aging process, men or women. This is something that's just important for all of us to support ourselves and fight a little against all of those things that sound so awful as we all start to get a little bit older. And you know what? You can't avoid it. So Revive Collagen is the product that you have had us try. That's the one we've been really focusing on. And Katie and I take it every day. Tell us why this product is so different from other things on the market and what makes it so special, because it really is.
Well, first and foremost, it's anti-aging. It's going to reverse things, and because you're putting back in what your body's, lacking. And why is it special? Because we use 5 different types of collagen. We use type 1, 2, 3, 5, and 10. And they're sourced from really, truly incredibly great sources. We use grass-fed bovine, free-range chickens. We're using fresh Atlantic wild-caught cod in the Atlantic, and we're using the eggshell membrane. Now, those are all very, very important because synergistically together, those are much more powerful than just maybe one collagen and the other things. We also put hyaluronic acid in there, which is such a lubricator. It helps keep our joints from creaking, and it really helps everything slide nicely. It keeps our skin plumped up. Hyaluronic acid can pull in up to 1,000 times its weight in water. So you can imagine the amount of moisture it's putting in our skin and in our joints. We also put in biotin, which is excellent because it's a B vitamin that's been shown to really produce healthy hair and nails. So we have biotin in there, and then we have the vitamin C, which is a cofactor needed for the production of collagen and for the absorption of collagen. So synergistically, again, all these ingredients together really make a superior product. And we're third-party tested. And we're not using cheap ingredients that a lot of other products use from other countries. It's all from the good old USA. And
Love
those products could contain heavy metals and other things that you don't want in your body.
So how do people buy the product? Because you sent it to us. So how can people get hold of your product?
Okay, and before I do that, one other thing. People, they think their bones are filled with calcium. I wanted to really express your bones are 90% collagen.
Wow.
Can I actually interrupt you here real quick, Kim? Because you made my mind blown, and it was Katie's turn to ask you a question. But I have to tell you that I've been using this product now for a month and a half. I used to have a creaky knee. I know all about hyaluronic acid from my skincare routine. So I've always thought, I always was thinking, okay, that's about skin. I didn't know that it worked for your joints and your bones like that. I am telling you, I promise you that my knee has not been like that little clicky sound. It was creaky. It was embarrassing. You could hear it in the hallway when I'd walk down to the radio studio in the morning. And I've noticed that it was gone. I had no idea that it was the hyaluronic acid. I'm sorry. I just had to interrupt because that excites me. It's like a wow moment. My mind was
okay.
just blown.
And collagen also puts the elasticity back into our bones, our joints, our ligaments, our tendons, everywhere in our body. So everything gets held up. Everything keeps together. And it's an incredible supplement that we have to have every single day. Now, before I give the number and all the other information out, I want to make sure that everybody knows you take this, it's powder form. We have the unflavored in coffee or the pink lemonade, which I'm actually drinking in the afternoon here. It's very delicious. And it's all natural. And so the thing is, use it every day. Your body, depending on what age you are, you might want to hyperdose. If you're over 40, you've already lost so much collagen. Don't just take it once a day, take it twice a day, and if you can, 3 times a day. Do that for the first 2 or 3 months. You're going to see faster, more excellent results. Then, if you just can take it once a day, that's okay too. It'll just take a little bit longer. You'll first see the results in your nails, then your hair, your skin. People are going to be walking around going, "What are you doing? You look so different. Your skin is glowing, your hair is shiny. What's going on?" So they're going to want to know too. So how
And can
do
I
you
ask how
get it?
you take it? And before we get how you get it, because we've been mixing it into our coffee, but what's the best way to take it in your mind?
I take unflavored in my coffee every morning. I do
Okay.
not ever skip it. It also adds 6 grams of protein to your coffee.
Love that.
So that's excellent. And then when you drink it in the afternoon, you're getting 6 more grams. My grandkids love it. And so they're getting protein with a very delicious drink. And, it's not all sugary and full of, artificial colors and flavors. So that's another excellent thing. But yes, it's easy. You can mix it in your coffee. You can put it in your soups. You can bake with it. You can make pancakes with it. So it's very versatile. It doesn't have, heat sensitive vitamins in it. It's protein. So you can use it in all those different ways. So how do you get it? We have a special for your viewers. They're going to use code Happy Women. Go to mybrightcore.com/happy women, or you can call in, and we prefer that you call in because we like to speak with everyone and make sure that this is the product for you. And when you call in, we're going to give you up to 50% off of your order, plus free shipping. And I'm even going to include this free collagen mask, which is
Love it.
incredible. You use this for 20 minutes on your face. It has the collagen in it. It has vitamin C. It has rose oil, all kinds of beautiful ingredients. In this mask, you will not believe what your face feels and looks like after you use this. So this is free when you call in. So let me give you the number. It's 888-927-5980. And again, call in, get up to 50% off, get free shipping, and get this incredible, wonderful mask, collagen mask.
This is such an incredible thing. And just to underscore what Kim said, Kim Bright is with us. She is the founder of Brightcore Nutrition, and mybrightcore.com is the website. Again, /happy women. You can go there. Your best deal, you get a special offer there, but your best deal look up to 50% off the free mask when you call 888-927-5980. But this product is great if you want to start to fight off the effects of aging. It helps your bones and joints. It helps your hair, your skin, your nails, your muscle mass and tone, the anti-aging impact that we just can't avoid. I mean, really, truly, we're all going to go through it. We all are going through it right now. So why not give yourself the best shot? Give your body what it's starving for, and that is collagen. All different kinds of collagen, plus hyaluronic acid, biotin, vitamin C. You will notice how you look, and you will notice how you feel. The product is Revive. And again, that number, 888-927-5980, 888-927-5980. And then always mybrightcore.com /happy women. Use the code Happy Women when you call 888-927-5980 so that you get that special deal and that collagen mask. And Kim, I guess in closing here, what would you like people, if somebody says, oh, this is only for women, who is this product for? This is really for all of us, isn't it?
I don't know any guy that wants to have saggy organs. I don't know any guy that wants to have saggy skin. I don't know any guy that wants to lose his hair or have it become brittle and breaking off. I mean, come on. Everybody wants to look younger and stay younger looking and feel younger. This also helps you feel younger. So it's for everybody. It's for everybody, even including young kids. If you're an athlete or anything, it's not going to harm you to eat collagen. And so it's for everybody, but
Great way to
especially for
boost your
those that are
protein.
aging.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great way to boost your protein intake. If you're looking at anything about nutrition right now, you know how much it is important that you prioritize good, clean ingredients, good, clean proteins. This is a great way to do it. And my very favorite part, and you can hear that I love the product, is that it's all made in the USA. We don't want to have products coming in from other places. This is a United States made product, and they're great supporters here of Happy Women too. So check them out. Full product line at mybrightcore.com, mybrightcore.com salem.com/happy women for your special offer. But give them a call, talk to them, up to 50% off and the collagen mask as well as your special gift. 888-927-5980. And you're asking for Revive Collagen. It is fabulous. 888-927-5980, code Happy Women. And Kim, you are a delight. Thank you so much for helping all of us. I mean, this is a very fabulous company. I'm so glad that we found out about you. We've connected with you. We just love what you're doing.
Thank you so much. It's been a joy to be a guest, and I hope you have me back.
Oh, we
Thank
absolutely
you.
will. Absolutely. mybrightcore.com/happy women or code Happy Women 888-927-5980. 888-927-5980. Kim Bright, thank you so much for being with us. And thank you all for joining us. Don't forget, you can get Katie's book. It's called Next Gen Marxism. You can get that wherever you get your books. You can also check her out online, katiegorka.org. Find her on Facebook, search for Catherine Gorka, and on X at Gorka Katie. You can find me too on social media, Instagram, Jennifer Horn Radio, and Facebook as well, and Jennifer Horn on X and on Truth. And thank you for those 5-star reviews. Please keep them coming. It helps us with our podcast. And boy, we appreciate each and every one of you who listen to us. And if you want to connect on other platforms, find us at salempodcastnetwork.com/happy women. Thanks for joining us. It's another episode of the Happy Women Podcast.